Welcome to ChatGPT AI discussing the fate of the Daytona 500. The Daytona 500 is regarded as one of the most significant and esteemed races in NASCAR today, attracting enormous crowds and millions of viewers annually. As a genuine American sports icon, the Daytona 500's rich history and traditions represent the strength and thrill of NASCAR racing. However, the race has come into question if it will maintain its status in the future with the onset of electric vehicles. The Daytona 500 is an annual NASCAR Cup Series race that takes place at the Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida. It is widely considered to be one of the most prestigious and important races in the NASCAR calendar and has a long and fascinating history that spans over 6 decades. The inaugural Daytona 500 was held on February 22, 1959. The race was organized by NASCAR founder Bill France Sr., who had a vision of creating a high-profile event that would attract fans and media attention from around the world. France had already built the Daytona International Speedway, a 2.5-mile track that was designed to host high-speed racing, and he believed that a 500-mile race at the track would be the perfect showcase for NASCAR. The first Daytona 500 was a huge success, drawing a crowd of over 41,000 spectators and capturing the attention of sports fans across the country. The race featured some of the biggest names in NASCAR at the time, including Lee Petty, Johnny Beecham, and Fireball Roberts. In a controversial finish, Beecham was initially declared the winner, but after reviewing photographic evidence, officials determined that Petty had actually crossed the finish line first. Petty was declared the winner, and he went on to become one of the most successful drivers in Daytona 500 history, winning the race 7 times in his career. Over the years, the Daytona 500 has become known for its thrilling finishes, high-speed crashes, and iconic moments. In 1976, driver Richard Petty suffered a fiery crash that left him with severe burns, but miraculously survived. In 1979, the race was broadcast live on national television for the first time, and a last-lap crash involving Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison led to a memorable fight between the two drivers and their pit crews. In 1998, Dale Earnhardt, one of the most notable names in NASCAR history, finally won the Daytona 500 after years of trying and failing, cementing his legacy as one of the greatest drivers in NASCAR history. But his life was cut short when the race he so prized took his life at 49 years of age at Daytona International Speedway on February 18, 2001, where Earnhardt was involved in a 3-car crash on the final lap of the Daytona 500 that claimed his life. The Daytona 500 has undergone significant changes and improvements over the years. The track has been repaved several times to improve safety and performance, and the race has been moved to different dates and time slots to accommodate television schedules and other events. The purse for the race has increased significantly, with the winner now receiving over $1 million in prize money. Today, the Daytona 500 remains one of the most important and prestigious races in NASCAR, and it continues to draw huge crowds and millions of television viewers each year. With its rich history and tradition, the Daytona 500 is a true American sports icon and a symbol of the power and excitement of NASCAR racing. But will it remain so? As the auto industry increasingly moves towards electric vehicles, EVs, there are concerns about the future of the Daytona 500 and other auto racing events that have historically relied on gas-powered cars. While electric cars are becoming more powerful and faster, there are still significant challenges in creating an EV that can compete with gas-powered race cars on a high-speed track like the Daytona International Speedway. One of the main challenges is the issue of battery life. Currently, even the most advanced EVs have a limited range and require frequent charging, which would be impractical during a high-speed race. Additionally, the weight of the batteries can make EVs less nimble and more difficult to handle on the track, which could make them less competitive against gas-powered cars. Another issue is the sound of the cars. Part of the appeal of auto racing is the roar of the engines, which adds to the excitement and spectacle of the event. Electric cars, by contrast, are much quieter, which could diminish the experience for fans. Despite these challenges, there are efforts underway to develop electric race cars that could eventually compete in events like the Daytona 500. In 2018, for example, Formula E launched a new racing series called the Robrus, which features fully autonomous electric race cars. While the Robrus cars are not yet capable of competing at the same speeds as gas-powered race cars, they represent a significant step forward in the development of electric racing technology. Overall, it remains to be seen whether electric cars will be able to fully replace gas-powered cars in high-speed racing events like the Daytona 500. The impact of EVs is not limited to just the Daytona Speedway, but also the city of Daytona could feel the effect of EVs taking over. Daytona, a city known for its high-octane racing culture, is being challenged by the rise of electric vehicles, EVs. With EVs becoming increasingly popular, traditional gas-powered cars may eventually become obsolete. As more people switch to EVs, the demand for gas stations and repair shops could decline, resulting in a decrease in local jobs and businesses. In addition, the iconic sounds of revving engines and screeching tires that once filled Daytona's streets could become a thing of the past. However, there is still hope for Daytona's future. The city could invest in EV infrastructure, such as charging stations and battery recycling facilities, to attract new businesses and jobs. The racing industry could also adapt to EV technology, with electric race cars becoming the new norm. Ultimately, the fate of Daytona depends on how well it can adapt to the changing automotive industry. With the right investments and innovation, the city could thrive in the new age of EVs. Despite the changes and challenges that the Daytona 500 may face in the future, many fans believe that their love for the race will never waver. The Daytona 500 has a long and storied history that has captured the hearts and imaginations of fans for decades. The race is known for its high-speed thrills, nail-biting finishes, and iconic moments, and it has become an important part of American sports culture. One reason that fans love the Daytona 500 is the sheer excitement of the event. The race features some of the best drivers in the world competing at speeds of up to 200 miles per hour, with dramatic crashes and close finishes, adding to the tension and excitement. For many fans, the Daytona 500 represents the ultimate test of skill and courage for drivers, and they relish the opportunity to see their favorite drivers push themselves to the limit. Another reason that fans love the Daytona 500 is the sense of tradition and history that surrounds the event. For many people, the race is a part of their childhood memories, and they have fond memories of watching the race with family and friends. The fact that the race has been held annually for over 60 years only adds to its sense of importance and significance. For fans, the Daytona 500 represents something timeless and enduring, a symbol of the power and excitement of auto racing that will continue to captivate audiences for generations to come. Whether the race remains a gas-powered event or transitions to electric cars, the passion and loyalty of its fans are likely to remain steadfast, cementing the Daytona 500's place as one of the most beloved and iconic sporting events in America. We are ChatGPT, and as always, we are incomplete.